How's it going, guys? Well, welcome back to TheBlueShifting, and welcome back to Muv-Luv Monday, and we almost call it Muv-Luv Meiya Monday because it's the other half of the Meiya videos from the Extra Universe. So, it also is going to probably be the last video in the Extra Universe, and then we're going to take the plunge into like the horrors that are going to be in alternative, I'm sure. Oh boy, but it's okay, we're going to be doing that. So last time we did Learning to Love, which was really, it was hilarious and wacky, but it was a great, like, almost like a miniature encapsulation of part of what makes Muv-Luv so great is the fact that it has ridiculousness, it has humor, it has just absurdity, but then it gets ripped right into like the realism. And I mentioned this in a comment with somebody, and I think I'd like to repeat it, that part of the reason Muv-Luv I think works so well is that it initially comes off with tropey and just utter not like ridiculousness and nonsense and just over the top everything. And so you get used to that kind of just suspension of belief, and then it suddenly like turns around and does that like 180 and suddenly rips like real life problems and stress and like issues that are complex and gray and just not really easy to understand or even like try and process. It gets pulled right into your face and be like, here, deal with this now. And the juxtaposition is so powerful. It's a magnificent way to tell a story. Again, it's part of the reason why I am still singing praises of the Muv-Luv writing. The writing is just so clever. It's like genuinely clever. Not like trying to be clever and snooty. It's like genuinely using our expectations and our preconceptions and like weaponizing it against us to make good points. But we're gonna jump into learning to lead and kind of learn more about what sounds like Meiya's backstory. A little bit about her training, I'm guessing with her sword. So I'm kind of curious to see how this turns out. But yeah, let's just jump right into it, shall we? Learning to lead. Oh, Meiya, I missed you. Happy to be back. Mitsurugi Air Service. Like that's freaking like high-end jets.
出来事で時間を取られましたので、日本政府の合意のもと、緊急措置として三剣本家の空港に向かっております。到着後、直ちに親方様とのご面会となりますので、機内で十分休養をお取りください。医師団の報告では、現在親方様のご容体は安定しておりますが、依然予断を許さない状況であるとのことです。
おじい様を見ているのはどこの医師団であろうな。
はい、三剣総合医療センターの第一緊急派遣チームと聞いております。
This is her dad, right?
第一緊急派遣チームか。
Oh, curse you! Dang it! I clicked again! Though I have to wonder if they actually examined him at all.
メイヤ様、何か気にかかることがございますか？
よい、続けよ。
いえ、以上でございます。
そうか。
では、日本到着までしばしの間、体をお休みください。
わかった。
何かお飲み物をお持ちいたしますか？
そなたに任せる。
Ooh, nice.
かしこまりました。
No, it cannot be. Surely that would even be a bridge too far, even for my grandfather. Dang, this is a nice plane.
お待たせいたしました。
中国茶か。
はい、福建省産のパイハオインジェンです。日本茶をご用意したかったのですが、あいに。
ほう、白茶とは珍しい。うまそうだな。
恐れ入ります。
Alright, sounds interesting. I'm not much of a tea drinker, so I wouldn't know.
日本は2年ぶりでございますね。本日天候は晴れ、気温は24度。明日も同じぐらいだそうでございます。
24 degrees isn't bad.
そうか。
さあ、どうぞ。
A lot of sighing right now.
メイヤ様。
なんだ。
あまり思い詰められませんよ。
I wonder if this is like right after the bank thing.
わかっている。そなたの心遣いに感謝を。
何かございましたらお呼びください。それでは。
It easily could be. I mean, they were going to a plane anyway.
つくよみ？
はい。
医師団の話、信用できるのであろうな。
確かにいつものお戯れとはご様子が異なります。
そうか。そなたも真相は掴んでおらんのだな。
申し訳ございません。その親方様身辺の大事ともなれば機密中の機密。私などでは到底確証を得ることなど叶いません。
It's kind of a side of Meiya that's life that it's hinted at but you never really see, is that everything that her family does is like politically motivated intentionally or otherwise. Like they're so powerful and they're involved in such high circles that like that every action is scrutinized. It's kind of like being like a world leader. But like I feel like it's to like an insane degree because like being a part of like the business world is probably puts them like on the side of the shadier aspects of like life. And so like it looks like her grandfather is like possibly like she's having to try and figure out, is he actually having a medical emergency or is he simply playing mind games with me? And like, can you imagine having to think that about like your closest living relative? Like, oh, are they actually in the hospital or are they just pulling my leg to try and maneuver me into a situation? It's like, man, that would suck.
よい。確証など、そなたには不要であったな。
There should be no reason to doubt a report that the master of the house had suffered a terrible fall, under normal circumstances, that is. But given my grandfather's usual tomfoolery, it's difficult to say for sure. He has made many attempts in the past to feign illness as a ploy to bring me home from abroad. I can understand that the master of the house, that he may be too prideful to admit he misses me, but to fake any medical emergency is far more unseemly in my view. He would even have his advisors pose as physicians and give me extremely detailed descriptions of his condition over the phone. See, that's scummy. Like, good grief. At first, I would rush immediately to his bedside without question, but it wasn't long before I caught on to his game. When I was told he'd been incapacitated 6 months ago, I simply laughed and then phoned him internationally.
しかし、婿の話まで持ち出してきたのだ。こたびはさすがに仮病ではあるまい。
That is problematic. Hence why I'm actually returning to Japan and simply brushing him off.
婿か。
メイヤ様。
いや、なんでもない。
I wonder if I'll
も
ever
う
get
下がる
to...
がよい。
Sorry. I wonder if I'll ever get to meet the mysterious husband-to-be, you know? Like, who was he gonna be?
かしこまりました。
Considering the time difference, I should heed Tsukuyomi's advice of rest. Otherwise, I'd be severely jet-lagged once we arrive. Even in the event that my grandfather is not bedridden, I would prefer not to feel exhausted for the next several days. Oh, sorry. Yet try as I might, I cannot seem to relax. There's this indescribable emotion welling up from deep within my chest, and it plagues my thoughts. What is it? A wish for trust? I thought I laid these misgivings to rest today back at the bank. Why would they haunt me still? Yeah, so this is the same day. Dang, she's cool.
本当の力というもの。そなたの身をもって知るがよい。
Yeah. It was so anime, but I loved it.
金庫が。
人の心や思いをくじくのは力ではない。己が心の内にある弱さがくじくのだ。
And the gaps, that's what gets me. The curse of the hand is really bad in Muv-Luv games because they have really pregnant pauses. If it's just a period, it's long enough that it can trick me if I'm not like paying attention. But the ellipses, it's like I have to wait and be like, okay, are we done?
何の迷いもなく愛しいものを思う一途で強い心。しかと見せてもらった。
Yeah.
あんたの番。
そうだ。私にも迎えに行くべき者がいるのだ。
Oh, I wish he'd been waiting for you.
恋人かい？
いや、我が夫となるべき男だ。
I felt so inspired after witnessing the unconditional love these men had for their wives. It truly felt like every doubt had been erased from my mind. But yet, I bet it seems I'm still afraid of something after all. How could I be so sure of my resolve one moment, then completely lose my composure the next? I am a disgrace to my fellow Mugen Kido masters. If my masters were to see me like this, he would regret ever entrusting me with the Minaru Kamui. Minaru Kamui. Have I lost my way somehow? Where did I go wrong? The irresponsible emotions are gnawing away at my chest, and a restless itch has overtaken my entire body. I've never felt either of these things before, not in all my years. All 18 of them, or 17. I can't remember how old she's supposed to be. Does that thought of having to return home truly affect me that much? The thought of taking a husband. Yet again, I'm reminded of the burden that comes along with the Mitsurugi name. How can this be happening? I've been preparing for this my entire life. What was it all? Was it all just a facade? Tell me. Oh, Minaru Kamui. Now I'm wondering if the Minaru and Kamui, like, I don't know how to tell when a word can drop the vowel sound, or like the ending vowel sound. I know it can happen, like desu, like you don't say desu, you just say death. And so, like, is this like Minaru, or is it Minaru? And instead of Kamui, is it Kamu? You know, I don't know. I really can't tell. I can try and listen for it, but I wish there was an easier way to tell. But again, if you're learning English, you certainly know, like consonants and vowels that are silent or change their entire, like, pronunciation, and oftentimes for no apparent reason. Yeah, like, I'm sorry, English is terrible that way too. It's why I suck with English. So if I were to learn, I hope to learn Japanese, and I know that's going to be a big struggle for me. You can see it, can't you? What is this fathomless emotion that lurks deep within my heart? I am in need of your reprimand, for I cannot pierce this veil of doubt that has cast itself over my mind. Look at me, so unable to ally my uncertainty that I've begun speaking to inanimate objects.
このままではMitsurugiの敷居をまたぐことすら叶わぬ.
Gosh, she takes everything so seriously. That's one of the biggest flaws, and one of the things that I thought was the most endearing is the fact that she's so put together in so many ways, and yet there's so many times where she feels like that because she's human, she's failing. Like, that's one of the things that, you know, I almost wonder if that's like a good representation of, like, some of the odd attitudes that we see represented in Japanese culture. Like, especially the work ethic. It's like they forget that they're supposed to be human, and that it's unreasonable to try and live up to some of the standards that are prevalent in that in the workplace there. Like, I was watching an anime that was very casually, like, talking about, like, this insane work ethic, and I was like, you know, I feel like it's crazy to feel like this is something that would be commonplace, but to watch people who literally, like, show up extra early, like right at the crack of dawn, and then, like, actively stay extra hours, and that's like oh, they're the good workers, you know, they're the ones that are staying until like 7-8 o'clock, you know, and going to bed super late and then getting up early the next day. It's like it's crazy to see it being so casual about it, when, like, in my upbringing and like with family, like, if I told family I was keeping a schedule like that, they'd be concerned. As a matter of fact, I do kind of keep a schedule like that because of YouTube, and they get concerned. I need to restart my training from the beginning. That's the only option. As it stands now, I do not deserve to call myself a Mugen Kido master. Restart my training. As if my master would ever take me back now. 3 years ago. She became a master in 3 years? Gifu Prefecture, Hida Mountains. And Gifu. I think Gifu's in the north. Oh my gosh. I do not know. I don't know if this would be kosher for a thumbnail. But, woo! Oh man. I mean, I know it's training. I mean, I know it's cold, but... Let's go. How much longer will I be held captive upon this accursed mountain? There are far more important things for me to learn if I am to inherit the Mitsurugi estate. I cannot afford to be held back here. I've already polished the swordsmanship skills to the fine sheen. I've taken every one of my master's teachings to heart. What is it that I still lack? What else could he possibly impart that would help me to uphold my family name? Yeah? What's that voice? Master? Oh, that was...
わかるぞ。お主の心中手に取るようにわかる。
Oh, man.
心の乱れがさざ波のように伝わってくる。
Cannot sense his presence. Surely he must be close by, and yet it feels as though his voice is coming from all directions.
このわしの所在見抜けぬ。
Oh, wait. I wonder if he's gonna be like the colonel from Alternative. The guy who was like in charge of Yokohama base. Kinda sounds like him.
しからばそれがお主の心を乱している呪文の答えとなる。
Perception. Guren Daizaburo, my master. You truly can see right through me.
そしてそれこそこれまでお主が修行してきた結果ということだ。
In that case, I must simply calm the tempest that rages within my heart. I did not come this far only to discover that I retained nothing. That I will never find him using the five senses alone.
ほう、心眼を研ぎ澄ますか。結構。
What is this? Why can I still not perceive his location?
今のお主の曇った心では、わしを探し出すことなど叶わぬわ。
お師匠様、私の心は曇ってなどおりません。
自覚すらない。焦り、戸惑い、そして恐れ。迷いに心が曇っている。
I wonder if mine's suffocating beneath a veil of doubt. Probably.
私は
三剣の名がそれほど恐ろしいか。
恐れてなどおりません。
そうかな。
三剣に生を受けし者の宿命、生まれし日より覚悟できております。
しからば問う。なぜ事をせく。なぜ心乱し焦りに浮き足立つ。
それは
I'm fully resolved to take the family mantle, and I know full well the duties that will come with that. I've spent my entire life tempering myself in all disciplines so as not to bring shame to my lineage when that day finally comes. And there isn't a hint of doubt in my mind. I must tread the path that has been laid out before me without a single reservation.
今宵も月は美しいのう。
The moon?
お主もそう思わんか。
But it's completely obscured by cloud cover. What is he playing at? Well, the thing is, like, I don't know if this is what he's playing at, but like, just because you can't see it directly doesn't mean it's not there, nor that it's not giving light to the night. I mean, its beauty may not be directly observable, but you can see the effects of it. And maybe you can find the beauty in that alone.
甲風清月。そうありたいものよ。
It should be a full moon tonight, if I remember correctly. And its intense luminescence, even though through the clouds, seems to corroborate that. On a clearer night, it would be quite breathtaking indeed. Though I must admit, I cannot really remember the last time I gazed up at the night sky like this.
なんと
How long has it been since I last admired the moon's beauty? Perhaps my master's right. My mind's been clouded by such impatience that I have rendered myself blind to the things that truly matter. For even on a clear night, the moon only shows its face to those who would gaze upon it. But it is always there, our watchful companion even in rain or storm. And yet once clouds cover has set in, no amount of searching will grant you even a glimpse of what you were looking for.
今のお主では 万事強化水月のごとしであろうぞ。
He's got a point.
お師匠様、恐れ入りましてございます。
分かったようだな。しからば今一度お主に問う。
はっ。
そうは何ぞや。
Man.
答えよ。そうは何ぞや。
Human, a person.
我は三剣を滑る宿命を背負いし者なり。
That's not right. You're more than that, Meiya. You're you. You're Meiya Mitsurugi. Or Mitsurugi Meiya. That's the proper way to say it.
三剣とは何ぞや。
王道を表し、世の安寧をもたらす者なり。
王道とは何ぞ。
三剣の断りをあまねく世に知らしめ。
Who is this? Jeez, what is that hair? Alright, I would have remembered you. Maybe in the Otherworld line you don't have as crazy hair. By the way, I'm gonna say, if I just saw correctly, yeah, he puffs out steam. Look at the attention to detail right there. That's cool. Master, was he truly this close the entire time? How did I not notice him until now? What an utter disgrace.
おいおい、上がれ。今のお主ではどれだけ滝に打たれようと意味がないわ。王道を歩もうと欲する者がその何たるかを答えられぬとは片腹痛い。
I see that trickle of blood, sir. I don't blame you, but you need to keep your thoughts, mister.
はは。
Yeah.
そのような者が王道を語るとき、世は乱れ、民は悪性に苛まれると知れい。
お師匠様、血が鼻から出て。
Mm-hmm.
見ておるのか。
しかし
王道を行こうとする者が鼻血ごときに惑わされて何とする。
申し訳ありません。
Every word he says cuts through my veneer like a knife. What a spineless weakling I am.
謝罪はわしにではなく己自身にするがよ。これはすべてお主の問題。
は。
そもそもお主はここに何をしに来た。
三剣の当主としてふさわしい道を知るためここに参りました。
I think she's learning good lessons here, but I can definitely understand like why she is the way she is too. Man, I'm going to play extra again after this and like think about it.
他になすべきことがあり気がせくのなら今すぐにでもこの山を降りるがよいぞ。
それはできません。
なぜできん。わしは引き止めてはおらんぞ。
ひとたび修行に身を投じた者が途中下山した場合、破門と聞き及んでいます。
Dang.
さよう。いかな理由であれ修行半ばで山を降りればその者は免許皆伝の資格を永久に失う。
It sounds harsh, but it kind of makes sense.
私は三剣の次期当主としてここにいるのです。免許皆伝をいただくまでは山を降りません。
その言葉に偽りはあるまいな。
Ouch.
は、神明にかけて。
はい、わかる。今宵はもう上がるがよい。
Right, right.
は、ありがとうございました。
Oh,
Yeah, what
jeez. No, I mustn't be distracted again.
王道とは本来教えられるものでも覚えるものでもない。
Interesting. Where does he learn it then? Maybe from nature of character?
はい。
そのことを忘れるな。
はい。
That's true, actually. Because the biggest trap I think anybody can fall into, like, I'm not a businessman at all, but I do think a big trap and what causes businesses ultimately to fail is that if they get success, a little success or even a large amount of success, and I think this applies to people too, when you find yourself being successful, if you become content and you become stagnant like you let things just stay the way they are and don't want to seek change, you're going to be preventing yourself from truly experiencing growth. What do I mean by that? Well, I'm sure most of you, if not all of you, work in some capacity. When you work at a job, are you the kind of person who shows up every day, does your job, and leaves? Or do you seek to try and make yourself better at your job? When they ask for volunteers, maybe not for work shifts, but maybe for unique jobs, do you volunteer? Have you actually sought a leadership position, knowing full well you might not actually get one? This can be basic as working as a cashier at a restaurant. Perhaps like there are positions like lead cashier. Have you ever volunteered or like asked to have it try your hand at that? And if you can't do that, have you ever asked to learn how they do their job if you're working with somebody who is like shift manager? Have you ever sought that? When I worked at traffic control, for instance, I ended up becoming kind of like the right-hand man to the shop manager. He was pretty much right below the owner and like kind of job organizer of the company. The shop manager was the one who assigned people work, and I became such an employee that he enjoyed having around so much because of my like work ethic, my willingness to learn and grow, and just like the fact that I had taken the time to learn skills and to constantly seek like new activities. Like I wasn't like, you wouldn't find me hiding away trying to avoid work. If I got done with a task, I was quick to look for something else to do or to seek something I could do to help. Being that, forward thinking, that assertive, led him to develop a respect for me and a desire to help see me grow in the company. And I was given responsibility. I was continuing to work well in the company. In fact, if I hadn't had my ACL tear in my knee, hospitalizing me and preventing me from doing the heavy labor that I was doing at the time, I likely could have made that a career if I'd chosen to. I wouldn't have been interested in that, but knowing that that was an option, and that if I'd asked, he easily would have given me much bigger responsibilities and likely made me a job manager. Because he'd already been starting to do that without me even pursuing it. But that's the thing, is like I was being given opportunities, and I know it's because I took initiative. I asked questions, and I wasn't content to just sit on my hands every time I had a breather. I sought and strove to just do a good job, be a good employee, and just be the best I can. And I think that's the lesson that we're seeing Meiya go through here on an extreme level. It's like you can't just be content with what you can do. You need to constantly seek and build yourself up, and it's that self, it's that personal drive, that instinct, and the desire to build upon what you are, rather than just being finding a kind of a happy zone and staying there, is the difference between somebody who just works their job and somebody who climbs the ladder. I think that in the big scheme of things, especially, like the most important things you bring to the table is adaptability and willingness to learn. The instant you feel like you know it all, and the instant you decide that you aren't interested in pursuing new things, then you're not going to improve and progress. And you're going to find that oftentimes your salary, your job titles, and the prospects are going to kind of shrivel up and become stagnant. And that's if you can keep your job, if you're not being too outshone by other people. And I think that's what her mistake is too, is like you don't learn to be a strong leader. You figure that out on your own because you have to adapt. A company, an individual, an heir to like a fantastic fortune will lose it all if they just grow content and suckling on the success that they've been given, especially when it's just handed to you because of your birthright. That's the real danger, is being so content with the way things are rather than pursuing and seeking something greater. That's what's going to kill your prospects, and that's what's going to limit you. You limit you. Yeah, what?
はい。お師匠様。
もう行くがよい。そして明日に備えるのだ。
は。
He is struggling to keep himself composure. Yeah. Oh, Meiya. Several weeks later. Don't wear white. Oh man, we're just getting all the fun outfits with Meiya, huh? Plus side of him. Where is he hiding? Well, even with all the snow, he hasn't left a single footprint. Truly a master of his craft. Compared to him, I'm still above the fledgling. However, if I'm going to land a strike on him today, I must. But that isn't even one of the Mugen Keto arts. I was certain I could feel my blade cleaving flesh, but this is merely a log dummy.
戦いに集中しろ。余計なことを考えているから爪を誤る。
No, do not let his voice deceive you. You do not hunt with your ears, hunt with your mind's eye.
おお、少しはやるようになったな。
お師匠様。
Oh, fetch, she did get him.
お師匠様、その傷は。
おかんに騙されるなと言ったであろう。
Oh, fetch.
しかし。
So then, I really did strike flesh after all? No, that cannot be. I felt my blade go clean through. Any man would have been hewn in twain, even my master.
お主の目に見えている傷とやらが、油断を誘うための敵のあやかしだとしたなら、いか。
あやかし。
Sorry.
では問うが、お主はなぜ刀を収めた？
それは。
試合は終わってはおらんわ。
Uh-oh.
この未熟者！爪を誤ればお主が滅する。王道を行く者が滅するとき、これすなわち牙なき者たちの矜持と知れい。お主の命はお主だけのものではない。そして王道を行く者は一度始めた戦いを止めることなど許されないのだ。
Dang.
はい。
そのような低たらくでは、あの祠にたどり着くのはいつのことであろうな。
Dang.
祠。
このわしを打ち倒した暁には、お主は祠に入り、最後の試練に挑むのだ。そして、その試練を見事乗り越えられたなら、奥に祀られておる三剣家の宝刀、ミナルカムイを持っていくがよい。
Minar Kamui.
それをもって免許開伝とする。そうであったな。
は。
あまりミナルカムイを待たせるでないぞ。心なき者の示す道にいかほどの意味があろう。
お師匠様、未だ私の心に曇りがあるとおっしゃるのですか？
お主の技はこのわしをすでに凌駕しておる。
いえ、この命や未だお師匠様には遠く及びません。
謙遜はよせ。お主に対する正当な評価を言葉にしたに過ぎん。
I admire someone with arms like you, but my gosh, I don't know if I'd want that.
は。
お主の才能、習得の速さ、歴代の三剣の中でも特に秀でている。では問う。そのお主がなぜ、これだけ刃を交えながら、未だこの老いぼれに勝てぬのだ。お主自身、勝っても不思議ではないと実感しているはずだ。答えてみせよ。なぜ勝てぬ？答えは簡単だ。
She doesn't want to.
それは。
心技体。徳と武と技を収めし者にとって、どれ一つ欠けてはならぬもの。
存じております。
確かに、お主の技はもはやこのわしに引けを取らん。ことに、死体はさらに丸みを帯び、火の打ちどころなく、たわわに実った早急は、色艶ともにまさに極上。
He's a man of culture, it seems. Oh no!
お師匠様
That's really gross. Your nose.
侮れるな。またしても またしても鼻血に気を取られおったな。
To be fair, it was violent and pulsating.
申し訳ございません。
技と体は一人前でも、今のお主に欠けているのは心を置いて他にないわ。
しかしその出血量は鼻、胸ともに尋常ではなく。
赤室心がおろそかゆえさじが気になるのだ。
Hmm.
申し訳ございません。
そうはなんぞや。答えてみせよ。そうはなんぞや。
The question again. What is the point in asking me the same thing each and every day? He claims I'm lacking in spirit, but my devotion to my family and my willing to bring honor to the Mitsurugi name are all the motivation I need.
今だ答えられぬか。Mitsurugiであろうとするその気持ちは何だ。お主はMitsurugiでしかないのか。
You need to be you, Meiya.
お師匠様。
お主はたったそれだけの人間だというのか。
お言葉ですがお師匠様、Mitsurugiは決してたったなどという。
Being born is not a caliber of its own. Sure, you have an inheritance, but it doesn't define you. It can't, because it's not you. It's part of a legacy you're inheriting. What you do with it's what matters. So, core of this problem isn't who your name is. It's who you are.
それほどにMitsurugiの名が大事なら、それを汚さぬようしかと考えよ。
Be the best you.
己の行く道が何であるのかを、己の未来をな。家督を継ぎ、Mitsurugiを進めることすなわち、何がしかの猿真似をすることではないわ。
Exactly. It's about drive and determination to be yourself, set your own path, not allow, not accepting standards as standards. Don't accept the lowest common denominator. Excel it, beat it, become better, grow, become skillful, pursue opportunities to learn and expand your horizons. And you never know what little thing is going to be tipping you over the edge and bringing you a much grander opportunity.
お、大声を出しすぎたか。少々視界が霞んできた。今日はここまでにしよう。
Yeah, I don't know. Go get some stitches, man.
ありがとうございました。
すまぬが、一つ用事を頼まれてくれぬか。
You're gonna be okay?
は。
先に小屋に戻り、つくよみにここに来るよう伝えてくれ。
Yeah, you're not doing good.
わかりま
But
し
you
た。
can't afford to look weak.
では行くがよい。
は。
The path in life. The path of a leader. I must figure out what that means so as not to dishonor my family. What was that sound? 1 month later? Yeah.
メイヤ様、ご覚悟を。
はあ。
わったった辰巳、任せた。
Teamwork and knowledge of each other's shortcomings makes them a formidable foe.
今だ。
You idiots. The Trinity attack, well played. In that case, I'll just take them all out all at once.
はあ。ちょっとユキロのバカ。やばいよ。
Pesky little rats.
チレーラジャー。
Wait, Meiya, you mustn't pursue. They must have abandoned their full frontal assault for a reason. Why are they scheming?
こうなったらあれ行くよ。電気噴射流殺。
Uh-oh. Such speed, however. The word retreat is not in my vocabulary. How does she not kill them? Seems like she would be killing them. Maybe it's with a practice sword.
無限軌道流剣術が一致。おぼろ月。お見事です、メイヤ様。
つくよみ。
次のお相手は私が務めさせていただきます。
うん。
As usual, her defensive stance seems utterly impenetrable. You can tell that the elite blood of the ancient Mitsurugi castle guard courses through her veins.
よろしいですか?
And yet I must defeat her. If I can be felled by Tsukuyomi, then I haven't the slightest hope in besting my master. All those that would stand in my way are obstructing me from leading the world to prosperity. Tsukuyomi and the master are no exceptions.
遠慮は無用だ。心して参れ。
Oh boy.
恐れながら、メイヤ様も決して手加減などなさいませんよ。
はい、わかった。
お覚悟を。では、参ります。
Oh, fetch. Ugh. Thought it would be fine just to keep my distance, but she's coming from the right. No, from below. Impressive, Tsukuyomi. Even with all the snow underfoot, she moves as deftly as ever. I must put some distance between us. No, she's not gonna let you away. She won't even allow me to keep her at sword's length, eh? This aggression, this pressure. This is nothing like our previous sparring matches. I should not be out of breath just from warding off her advances. If I lose my focus for even a second, it'll be the end of me. I'm already fatigued from the previous battle. If I let this drag out, I will be at a distinct disadvantage. Which means I need to make this next strike count. I will never catch her with my eyes alone, not at speed.
メイヤ様のお心が手に取るようにわかります。
お師匠様の受け売りか。
さて、どうでしょう。
Ooh.
参ります。
A straight on assault. Stay focused. There you are. I missed.
無限軌道流剣術が一、巣ごもり。やはりその技でしたか。
So I didn't miss then. She simply dodged it.
さすがですメイヤ様。お見事な立ち筋。
世辞は良い。そなたを倒せねば、さすがも見事もうつろであろう。
いえ、次の技が何か存じてさえいれば、かわすことは造作もなきこと。
How could she tell? Why is it so obvious?
メイヤ様、お顔の色が優れません。
Ooh. Must not lose my temper. Cannot let my emotions control me. I must sharpen my mind and calm my heart. This isn't over. I haven't lost yet. But if Tsukuyomi can read my every move. No, no one is capable of that, not even Tsukuyomi. Perhaps she just knows all my tricks and tendencies from our previous matches. But is that a problem in and of itself? So then what can I do? Be serene as the moon. Calm your heart. Free your mind of distractions. When you rid your heart of self-doubt, all that remains is muscle memory. There is no need to obsess over technique. Let mind and body move as one, and technique will come naturally. I know I have the ability to finish Tsukuyomi right here and now. Not with any skill that I've learned, but with one I was born with, one innate to the Mitsurugi Meiya. I must carve for myself a way forward, a path of my own design. I can feel Tsukuyomi's presence. She's 7.5 steps away. I can feel the wind and the sun's rays on my skin. My heartbeat is irrelevant. I let it fade from my cognition. Ooh, that's cool. Your brain could totally do this.
行くぞ。
お見事です。
Okay.
そなたたち、怪我はないか。
Geez, sparring with Meiya would be terrifying.
メイヤ様、祠前にお迎えください。そこで大三郎様がお待ちです。
So it's finally time to face my master. How many times have I come this far only to fail? Not today. Today I will stand triumphant.
メイヤ様。最後に放った曇りなきあの一戦。初めて見る技でした。あれは何でございましょう。
I don't know. I made it up.
そうだな。月の輪だ。
月の輪？
うん。甲風星月、輪をもってなすという思いを込めた名だ。
That was a complete improvised maneuver, but a product of my own mind and body nonetheless.
まあ、ということは、月の輪は、メイヤ様が編み出された技ですのね。
うん。
なんと喜ばしい。おめでとうございます。メイヤ。
まだだ。お師匠様を倒さぬ限り、その言葉を聞く資格はない。
どうか、ご自身を信じてくださいませ。
うん。
私どもは、ここでお待ちしております。
Best of luck.
メイヤ様、頑張ってください。
うん。そなたたちに感謝を。
Let's do this thing.
このわしを打ち倒した暁には、お主は祠に入り、最後の試練に挑むのだ。そして、その試練を見事乗り越えられたなら、奥に祀られておる三剣家の宝刀、ミラルカムイを持っていくがよい。それをもって免許開伝とする。あまりミナルカムイを待たせるでないぞ。
How strange. All the anxiety and stress from before seems to have vanished. I'm not fretting over battle tactics or anything of the sort. I'm simply enjoying the winter scenery along with the sound and feeling of snow compacting beneath my feet. I must go into the duel with a clear head and a calm mind. As long as I do that, I know I can handle anything he might throw at me. There are no more doubts plaguing my mind, which means I have set foot confidently on the field of battle with my resolve as my strength. Because now I've found the purpose that I can believe in.
ここか。
Oh, yes. Within the cave lies Minaru Kamui. And yet, I do not see my master anywhere. Perhaps that means the duel's already begun. Someone's down there.
気のせいであったか。
I thought for a moment, I was quite certain I was being spied upon. Am I wrong about such things?
待ちかねたぞ。
お師匠様。
白い紐パン。
Oh gosh.
ついにつく読みまでも退けたか。
This guy.
はい。
ではその真偽体、とくと拝見するとしよう。
今日こそは宝刀ミナルカムイいただいていきます。
よく言った。面構えも良いな。
There's nothing more for me to think about here. All it's left to show him what I'm truly made of.
お覚悟を。
参れ。
いや
Battling on top of a mountain. Super. Oh my gosh. Into the night.
What? どうした？もう疲れたか？お主の覚悟はそんなものではなかろう。
He's still much more powerful and aggressive than me. It'd only be a matter of time before he wears me down.
さて、そろそろしまいにするとしよう。
However, the word defeat is not in my vocabulary. Therefore. Good Link impression, but you know, it makes sense. She's swinging a sword.
おお、手数で押す。だがお主の息はすでに。
They've staggered him? I have to keep up the pressure.
No!
Ka-ching.
受かったわ、肩！ 力の嵐
What is he doing? What the fetch is this? Oh no.
宇宙の雷
Oh no, what is this? What is this? Oh no.
気がついたか
What on earth just happened? Did I lose?
お師匠様、無限軌道流にあのような非奥義が。
Who has chest hair like that? That's weird.
反重力の嵐に宇宙の雷だ。
いえ、私が知りたいのはそのようなことではなく、
自然の息吹に任せ光を浴び、丹田に力を込め、機械を満たし放つ。
An energy beam? Oh, Meiya. Oh my gosh. How foolish of me. I was convinced I'd already learned all the master's tricks.
我流で研ぎ澄ました技にしてはなかなかのものであろう。
It seemed effective at a specific thing.
恐れ入りました。
A shame. I was a fool to assume he would only use Mugen Kido arts. I should have known better than from our daily spars, especially since I did just the very same thing in my duel with Tsukuyomi. What a grave oversight. I'm truly a mere fledgling. How many times must I make the same mistakes before I learn my lesson?
それが分かっていればよい。
あ、
反重力の嵐にせよ、宇宙の雷にせよ、技の存在を知ってさえいれば、お主なら裁けよ。
しかし
戦いに定石はなく、また相手が常に正々堂々と挑んでくるとは限らないの。
In fact, if you're fighting fair, you're kind of fighting wrong.
はい。
だが、王道を行く者は、常にそれを正面から受けねばならん。
はい。
三剣に生まれし者は、敗北を許されぬ定め。だが、常に勝ち続けることは、極めて困難なことである。
はい。
それを知り、敗北に負けぬ強さを持て。己の道に迷いを生むな。
はい。
それが分かっていればよいのだ。なれば、剣の技、精神において。
お師匠様。
But I failed, didn't I?
では最後にそなたに問う。そうは何ぞや。
我は三剣を滑る宿命を背負いし者なり。
三剣とは何ぞや。
王道を表し、世の安寧をもたらす者なり。
Who doesn't wear a shirt? This video is not getting monetized.
王道とは何ぞや。
王道とは。
I follow the footsteps of my fellow Mitsurugi. To adopt the noble mentality fostered by my ancestors. To live my life as my grandfathers lived is. Any of these answers could lead to the world of prosperity, but I must go one step further than that. For a true leader need not be taught the path of prosperity.
王道とは何ぞや。
王道とはすなわち。
It is not the path that has yet been trod. Oh, that's a good answer.
我、三剣名やなり。
Yeah, that's awesome. That was really good answer.
見事なり。
は、ありが。
その答え、待ちわびたぞ。
お師匠様。
Path you tread yourself.
さあ、ここらに入り、最後の試練に挑むがよい。
はい。
そして、見事試練を乗り越え、ミラルカムイをその手にするのだ。
はい。
さすればそなたは、晴れて無限軌道流免許開伝。名実ともに、三剣の次期当主と相なる。
はい。お師匠様、行ってまいります。
うん。
メイヤ様。つくよみ、どうした？
このような大切な時に申し訳ございません。ですが、急を要する件でございますので。
申すがよい。
親方様が既得状態で一刻を争うとのことです。
何？
現在迎えの機がこちらに向かっております。着陸できる沢まで至急参りませんと。
This cannot be happening.
メイヤよ。
は、
祠の試練、費やす時はお主次第。半時か10日か、それとも1年か。
So what are you gonna do, Meiya?
王道を行く者は、すべてを己に背負い、すべてを己で決断するのだ。
This could be the last trial, but it's a good one. It's like saying oh, it's such a it's the true definer of leadership. I've said it many, many times. The true definition of a leader isn't even someone who's inspirational. It's the person who's capable of making tough decisions and bearing the responsibility and fallout of those choices. Because even if you make the right choice, you can cause pain, suffering, and unintended consequences. And then you also need to be able to accept that you can make the wrong choice and you have to move forward with it anyway. That's the key to a good leader.
Meiya 様。
Jeez, the outfit thing, man.
つくよみ。下山の支度をいたせ。
はい。
お師匠様。今日までの数々のご指導、何にも代え難きものと心より感謝申し上げます。
Goodbye, monetization.
無限軌道流免許開伝。私の命より重きものと心得て、これまで精進してまいりました。しかしながら、父母亡き後、私を育てた我が祖父ライデンは、親も同然。さすれば、その死に水を取るのは私の役目であり、私に許された最後の孝行と存じます。
メイヤよ。
は。
ひとたび山を降りれば、お主は祠に入る資格を永久に失うことになる。
こたび、今日という日を迎えながら、お師匠様のご恩にこのような仇で報いることとなりましたこと。この名ヤの不実として、生涯背負ってまいります所存にございます。
Oh, wow.
はい、わかった。
今日までのご指導、誠に。
表を上げよ。その足でしかと立つがよい。お主とわしは、もはや師弟ではない。三剣名ヤが、この老いぼれに、ひざまずき神戸を垂れる理由は、
は。
バカ者、己の道を歩むと覚悟せし者が、
はい。
達者で暮らせ。
Master, thank you truly from the bottom of my heart. No matter what life takes me, I will never forget everything you've done for me.
さあ、行くぞつくよみ。
はっ。
That's a lot of
おじい
doors.
様、名ヤがただいま戻り。
What?
見えたーそう。
くせ者。
Oh, crap!
メイヤ様。
ん？どうしたつくよみ。
Oh boy.
親方様が敬礼を。バカな。
Oh, it was grandfather? I assumed it was some lurchous assailant, so I struck him down. So he was not in critical condition then.
至急医療班を急げ。神谷、巴、恵比寿は待機中の医療班全員を緊急招集。ICU の手配も早急に。
あ
That's Meiya we know.
っぱれなり名ヤ。見事な剣さばきであったぞ。
He has quite the hairstyle. I mean, everyone's got interesting hair in this series, but my gosh, look at that. That must be a nightmare to make.
突然のこととはいえ大変なご無礼を。
よいよい、そのようなことよりそなたに渡したいものがある。
渡したいもの？
つくよみ。
は。
これを受け取れ、メイヤ。
Wait, isn't this...
三剣家の宝剣、ミナルカムイじゃ。
That's so weird. I want to hear the reasoning here. I can kind of think of what they might say, but it just seems so odd.
どうした？受け取るがよいぞ。
いや、しかしこれは。それにおじいさま。
Even if I hadn't attacked him, wasn't he supposed to be bedridden, hang on by a thread? How was he spry enough to jump out at me like that?
まったく、我が孫ながらそなたは察しが悪いの。
おじいさま？
これが最後の試練だったということじゃ。
は？これが最後の試練？
Maybe it's the willingness to, like, leave all that work behind in the name of the family?
代々これをやっておる。わしもその昔、同じ試練を経験したのじゃよ。
おじいさまも？
三剣の当主とは、常に痛みを伴う決断を迫られる立場の人間じゃ。
はい。
それは時として大切なものを切り捨てることを意味する。
あ
あ。はい。
修行の最後に次期当主たる者にその覚悟があるか。心なき者の示す道にいかほどの意味があろう。
Gotcha.
夢夢大三郎殿を責めるな。すべてそなたのため、三剣のためにと打った芝居ゆえな。
責めるなどと、この命やお師匠様に対して感謝以外の感情をどうして抱けましょう。
さようか。命やよ、そなたは見事に試練に打ち勝った。さあ、受け取れ。このミナルカムイは三剣家当主のたしなみ。無限軌道流免許開伝の証じゃ。
You know, the fact that she always carries the sword around, I remember feeling really weird, like, in the main story, even though, like, we knew it was important to her, but man, like, now that we have the context of what this blade is, what it represents and everything, like, of course she doesn't ever set it down. It has nothing to do with, like, being a prepared swordswoman. It's this, it's the idea of, like, what it is. Dang, so crazy. Master.
何をしている？はよ受け取らんか。
は、謹んでお受け申し上げます。
ん？
So this is my family's sacred blade. Has quite a bit of weight to it, just as Master said. Master.
おめでとうございます、メイヤ様。大三郎様より文を預かってまいりま
Oh
した。
boy, here it comes.
どうぞ。
お師匠様から？
して大三郎殿は何と。
Oh boy.
ミナルカムイを授かりしこの時、身の引き締まる文でございました。
Uh-huh.
そうか。そなたが読んで聞かせてくれぬか。
はい。
Oh no. We wield the blade not to further our interests, but to protect the powerless. Credo of the Mugen Kyoto Masters. Okay, good. I thought it was gonna be something pervy. It was 2.5 years ago. I lost my nerve since then? No, the resolve and determination I felt back then are not a thing of the past. I always make an effort to do what's right and keep myself in check, just as the Mugen Kyoto teaches. I even try to keep the serene mentality in everything I do. So why then is there restlessness in my heart? Why can I not quell this fluttering in my chest? Why does the thought of returning to Japan set alarm bells ringing through my mind? What is this emotion? What on earth has happened to me?
メイヤ様、お食事の用意が整いましたが、いかがいたしましょう。 メイヤ様、
せっかくだが今は食欲がない。許すがよい。
先ほどからため息ばかり。親方様をご心配なさるお気持ちは重々承知しておりますが。
それはそうなのだが。
まあ大変でございます。どこかお体の具合でも。
いや、そうではないのだが、別に何も問題は。
No, something is wrong. I cannot let my homecoming be soured by these perplexing emotions.
どうかなさいましたか？
いや。
Perhaps it would be wise to consult Tsukiyomi about this.
メイヤ様。
Come on.
そなたに隠し立てもあるまい。
はい。私でよろしければ何なりと。
実は日本に近づくにつれ心が乱され、胸のあたりがモヤモヤして睡眠もままならんのだ。
心が乱され、もやもや。
緊張とも違う、不安とも違う、何かが心を揺さぶるのだが。婿を取り三剣の家督を継ぐことにおじけついてしまったのだろうか。
But no, that's how it cannot be.
なんだ、笑うでない。私は本当に困っているのだぞ。
失礼いたしました。ところでメイヤ様、今どなたのことをお考えですか
Busted!
もちろんおじい様のことだ。
他にはどなたを？
お師匠様のことを考えていた。そして
During the talk of finding me a husband, I couldn't help but be reminded of a certain someone. Well, no, perhaps reminded isn't the right word since I've never forgotten.
メイヤ様、一つ良いことをお教えいたしましょ
なんだ、にやけおって。そなた私の窮状を楽しんでいるな。
She's so adorable.
う。メイヤ様の心の乱れや胸のモヤモヤの正体を教えて差し上げます。
Now don't hold me in suspense.
わかるのか？さすがはつくよみ、頼りになる。
実はメイヤ様、それが恋心というものです。
Love struck?
そのモヤモヤ、ドキドキが恋心なのです。
Love struck? I think I've heard the term before. If I recall, it's when one becomes so deeply infatuated with a member of the opposite sex, not like the love I have for my grandfather or my retainers, but something far more passionate.
メイヤ様は決して無限軌道の教えにも三剣の責務にも背いておりません。どうか今のそのお気持ちを大切になさってくださいまし。
Our feelings are so, like, pure. I see, so that's what it was. Then it seems I was agonizing over nothing. I have no reason to be ashamed.
ならば。
はい。
I must be true to myself and to my heart. As bearer of the Mitsurugi name, I walked steadily to shore and short on the
も
path.
はや
I
一
don't know.
抹の不安もないぞ。
I can trust these feelings are genuine.
つくよみ、そなたの指南書を持て。
かしこまりました。
Oh yes. Honestly though, what a stubborn man. Even after all these years, with half the world between us, he still finds a way to maintain his grip on my heart. Yeah, Takaru, you lucky son of a gun. Won't be long now, Takaru. Soon I'll be returning to your side. I'm yours now and forever. Why? Yes, that was fun. Perviness aside, the fact this is not monetized at all. Definitely awesome again. Well, I think that's all the smiling we're probably going to be doing for the next few weeks. Fetch, man. But yeah, great stuff. The Meiya stories were definitely the best, hands down. I mean, the Flower Blossoms one, the first one, was really well done. But I mean, come on, it's Meiya. We can't just toss her aside. She's freaking awesome. God, the music is so good. It was really fun listening to the live streams that they did like a month ago when they did the whole reveal of like all the stuff that's coming from the Muv-Luv Studios soon. The music was the best. Well, I don't know, actually. Listening to the writer and creator of the series talking about it was probably my favorite part. But the music's fantastic. Thanks for everyone again who's made this a happening thing. And then look forward to next week. Look forward to what we're going to cover for the rest of the Muv-Luv in this one. And then, of course, we're going to roll right into, this is Photonflowers, Photon Melodies, like that collection or whatever that is. We've got permission, we got the blessing of the Muv-Luv teams. They're real excited to see what we do with it, so we're jumping right into that. I keep thinking far ahead though, but gotta remember, we're still going to be here for a little while, so stick around for that. Other than that, thank you so much for being here today. Thank you so much for joining me on the channel. As always, it's a pleasure having you here and being able to share these fantastic stories with you. It really is awesome. And, you know, it's going to be time for us to move forward, and that's good, and it's okay. Keep in mind, I'm also wrapping up the Steins Gate packets. I'm doing Linear Bound Phenogram, but I'm about done with that one, and then we'll be doing a little dive into my darling, or my... Yeah, I don't know, it's like the dating one where you get to like go down romance paths. We're gonna be doing like 1 or 2 routes in that, I'm thinking. And then we'll be done with Steins Gate, and then we'll have lots of very interesting stuff to talk about. We're going to start a new series. We're going to jump back to an old friend. We're going to finally start a long-running series that's going to be probably 3 years in the making because it's got so many stinking games. Who knows? We'll see. But it's going to be exciting either way. So thank you guys so much for being here today. Thank you so much for joining me on the channel. As always, it's a pleasure having you here and a pleasure being able to share this wonderful, wonderful stuff with you. But until the next video watching me, I hope to see me in next. I'll see you there.